You're tuning in to Sports Talk with Big Sarge podcast. I'm your host, Big Sarge. All right, this is a bonus edition. I'm gonna give you all a little something special because I've already recorded earlier today. The podcast is out right now, available wherever you get your podcast from. It's called "Leave Draymond Green Alone." That's not what it's called. It's actually called "Draymond Green is Petty." So y'all might want to leave him alone. Yeah, Draymond Green is one of those guys where like his pettiness knows no bound. At least mine, nah, because even on the podcast, I told you I'm a PG. That's not a point guard either. That stands for petty general. Salute. Petty. Like I'm petty. Like I would definitely be in that army with Draymond Green. Yeah. So this is the bonus edition of Sports Talk with Big Sarge podcast. I had to do this because it's something that's going on that's being portrayed in this sports media world. Something this narrative that this rhetoric that I'm just not liking, and it just falls right into the category of lazy journalism 101. Now, for those of you all who don't know, I do this segment called Lazy Journalism 101 where I go and talk about a journalist who just seems to be lazy, or sports media personality that just seems to be lazy because of the work that they put out. What I'm going to talk about now is a conglomerate, is a group of lazy journalists who have just who's harping on this narrative because I feel like because we're in the summer and now there is no more basketball, there is no football until the end of July, and all we have is baseball now. They have to find something. This is when you normally in the summers when you normally find a lot of your list. A lot of your list comes into play in the summer. So that's when you really can tell who's lazy and who's not, who can come up with content, who's a content creator like myself, and who can't. So lazy journalism 101. So the Golden State Warriors are the NBA champions after defeating the Boston Celtics in 6 games. That happened on last week. Steph Curry was named Finals MVP. So I predicted that they would win in 6 games, and I like the Warriors. They built that team from the ground up, got rid of Mark Jackson, and brought in Steve Kerr to lead that team. Now that's important because I don't feel like Mark Jackson would have been the right coach for this Golden State Warriors team. This Golden State Warriors team right now is more, how can I put this? Steve Kerr is more player friendly than what Mark Jackson would have been. I feel like Steve Kerr listens to his players and say, okay, what do you all think, compared to Mark Jackson saying, this is what I think and this is what we're going to do. Do I think that Mark Jackson should have gotten another chance of coaching? Do I think that Mark Jackson should get another chance of coaching? I believe so. Even though there's a lot of things that I've heard behind the scenes on how Mark Jackson was as a head coach for the Golden State Warriors. Okay, we all mess up sometimes. We all deserve second chances, and I think that Mark Jackson deserves a second chance. I know for a fact, without a shadow of a doubt in my heart, that some of the play that Steve Kerr gets out of these players, he would not have gotten. I mean, Mark Jackson wouldn't have gotten that. Steve Kerr is the only one that could have led this team to where they are now. So, like I said earlier, Steph Curry finally won his Finals MVP, and so I truly like the Warriors. With that being said, the media and all this foolishness that they are pulling after they won is ridiculous. What they're doing with this Kevin Durant narrative is lazy. What they're doing with this Kevin Durant narrative is lazy. So this is what they're saying. They're asking the question of, should KD feel bad because the Warriors won a championship without him? Does it hurt KD's legacy because the Warriors have won a championship without him? Where does KD land now in the all-time greats now that Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors have won an NBA championship? And I get it. I got it. I got it. Yes, I get it. The Warriors, they won a title before KD got there, but they also lost one as well. Coming off a historic regular season where they went 73-9, they had the Cavaliers 3-1. They lost that series in 7 games. 7 games they lost that series. 2015, if I'm not mistaken, is when it was. Hold on, let me look. I think it was, no, yes. 2015 is when the Warriors won their first championship against the Cleveland Cavaliers who had LeBron James, Kyrie Irving, and Kevin Love. Kevin Love wasn't able to play in the finals because he got his shoulder dislocated by Kelly Olynyk in the playoffs when Kelly Olynyk was playing for the Boston Celtics. Kyrie Irving got hurt in game 1 of the NBA Finals. 2015, the Golden State Warriors won a championship. 2016, which I just mentioned, where they went 73-9, the best record during the regular season of all time. The last people to even get close to that was the 72-10 Chicago Bulls. The Golden State Warriors went 73-9, made it to the finals now against that same Cleveland Cavaliers team with LeBron James, Kyrie Irving, and Kevin Love. They all played. All 3 of them played this time, and the Warriors had the Cleveland Cavaliers up 3-1, and Cleveland came back to win the series 4-3. People are going to throw in there that, well, Draymond Green got kicked out of Game 5. Draymond Green was suspended for Game 5, played timid in Game 6, and came back and scored 32 points and 13, 14 rebounds, if I'm not mistaken, in Game 7 in the closeout game. But the Warriors still lost. The Warriors still lost that game. So, there's a lot being said about how, the Warriors just won the 2022 NBA Finals, and they had a championship before KD. Yeah, they had a championship. One. They were 1-1 before Kevin Durant got there. Now, they done won 4. I can make a case where, and I will make the case that they have 4. Technically, if we're going to throw this, if we're going to use this lazy journalism 101 narrative, if we're going to use this rhetoric, they kind of got 2. In that 2016 NBA Finals, Steph averaged 22.6 points a game, Klay averaged 19.6 points a game, and Draymond Green averaged 16.5, and that average rose when he had that 32 points in Game 7. LeBron had 29 points, 11 rebounds. He averaged, 29 points, 11 rebounds, and 8 assists. Kyrie averaged 27 points, and Tristan Thompson averaged 10 points and 10 rebounds to defeat the Golden State Warriors 4-3. Now, y'all know this saying that they got going around on social media where talking about catch flights, not feelings. A lot of these IG models love to say it too. I catch flights, not feelings. You know that it's exactly what the Golden State Warriors did. The Golden State Warriors caught a flight and not feelings. They didn't care. They didn't give a damn what people was going to say about them. They didn't give a damn about how people was going to feel about them going from the Bay Area, from California, all the way to the Hamptons to recruit Kevin Durant. Because Kevin Durant said, if anybody want to talk to me, if anybody wants to talk to me anybody wants to talk to me as a free agent, you got to come here. I'm not coming nowhere where you are. You all got to come to me. There's a lot being said that Draymond Green got on the phone, which, that story goes back and forth with whoever you wants to believe. Draymond Green got on the phone crying to KD saying, we need you. And that story has been proven to be false, but some of you all still run with it. But you say Draymond Green recruited Kevin Durant. Well, when Kevin Durant took that meeting in the Hamptons, it was Draymond Green, Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, Steve Kerr, the two owner, the owner and the general manager. It wasn't just Draymond Green. Draymond Green didn't go to the Hamptons by itself. They all caught a flight and not feelings. They went out and did what they needed to do because they knew that looking over at that Cleveland Cavaliers team and that monster in LeBron James, who they just watched destroy them in the last 3 games of the series, was coming. And he was only getting stronger. And Ty Lue had figured out a way to beat the Golden State Warriors. And Golden State said, we don't have a person that can stop LeBron James. So what did they go out and do? They went out and they got Kevin Durant. And I get it. Some of the backlash is, well, Kevin Durant, he's soft for he's a cupcake for going to the Golden State Warriors. Was he really, though? And full disclosure, I'm a Kevin Durant fan, but I'm taking off. Hey, look, I got my cowboy hat on right now. I'm going to take it off, but I'm going to put it back on because I need a haircut. I'm going Thursday to get that thing. Kevin Durant balled out in the Western Conference Finals when the Oklahoma City Thunder were up 3-1 over the Golden State Warriors. It was everybody else who did not. Look at the stats. Go back and look at the game. Kevin Durant did exactly what he was supposed to do. And Kevin Durant realized after that, they weren't getting back to the promised land. Not with what they had as far as coaching is concerned. Not as far as what they had as far as the overall talent and who was going to come back. And Sam Presti allowed that thing to crumble. General manager, who's still the general manager of the Oklahoma City Thunder, he allowed that thing to crumble. And by allowing that thing to crumble, KD seen the writing on the wall. You know who else seen the writing on the wall and left? LeBron James did the same thing when he left to go to Miami. LeBron James had given Cleveland Cavaliers 7 to 8 years. What else he was supposed to do? I wasn't mad at him that he went to Miami to a better situation. I mean, if you've been at a job long enough, you know that you've reached your max potential at the job. Then you go somewhere else. You go to a better job. You like, hey, look, I want a better job. I want better benefits. I want better, I want a better benefits packet. I want time off. I want paid PTO. I want PTO. I want all of that. Kevin Durant did the exact same thing. So when he got it with the Golden State Warriors, I wasn't mad. Now, I was a Oklahoma City Thunder fan because Kevin Durant played for the Oklahoma City Thunder, and I had watched every game he played from Seattle to Oklahoma City. And when he went to Golden State, I did not become a Golden State Warriors fan. I stuck with OKC because Russ was still there. But it was too easy to jump on the bandwagon and become a Golden State Warriors fan when I knew what was going to happen. I knew that once KD got there, wasn't nobody going to stop them. There was not a team around that could stop them. So I fast forward. KD is now here. KD is now with the Golden State Warriors. KD is balling with the Golden State Warriors. And the Golden State Warriors find themselves back in the finals in 2017. Against that same Cleveland Cavaliers team that beat the Warriors a year prior, who came back on the Warriors, who were up 3-1, came back. So guess what they went out and got now? Oh, now we got somebody to stop. What I mean by stop, I'm not saying that Kevin Durant could play good defense on LeBron James. What I'm saying is by stopping is you got somebody now who matches LeBron bucket for bucket, who can take LeBron out of a game because now LeBron has to play defense. Prior to that, LeBron not playing Steph. LeBron not finna run through all these screens. LeBron may be playing Klay. Maybe. Well, sometimes they switch out to Draymond Green to save his energy on the defensive end so he could make sure that he was more efficient on the offensive end. But now that you have Kevin Durant, what does that do? Now you have to play the offense and defense because you have somebody who can match you bucket for bucket. That's why I don't understand when people start talking about why would the Golden State Warriors go out and get KD and why would KD, they were a perfect match. They were a perfect fit for each other. And the reason why they were a perfect fit for each other is because the Warriors had something that KD needed and KD had something that the Warriors needed. And it was a perfect match. I don't get it. I don't understand. I digress. 2017 NBA Finals. The Warriors beat the dog crap out the Cavaliers. They beat them 4-1. 4-1. A gentleman's sweep. 4-1. Give you some stats. Game 1, LeBron had 28 points. KD had 38. Game 2, LeBron had 29 points, 11 rebounds. KD had 33 points and 13 rebounds. Game 3, LeBron had 39 points. KD had 31. Game 4, Kyrie had 40. KD had 35. And that's a game LeBron went for a triple-double in 31, 10, and 11. Game 5, LeBron had 41 points. KD had 39. In that series, LeBron averaged 33, 12, and 10. Kyrie averaged 29. And Kevin Love averaged 16. KD averaged 35, 26. KD averaged 35, Steph averaged 26, and Klay averaged 16. Do you see where the balance is now? Do you see why they needed KD? LeBron averaged 33. KD averaged 35. They wash each other out. They totally wash each other out. Now what happens? Now you're going to the second and third options. Those are the ones. If you can get if you can get KD and LeBron to cancel themselves out, now all Steve Kerr has to worry about is getting the and it's crazy to say that a top 12 all-time great in Steph Curry, when I say this, get the others, they had to get the others involved. Kyrie and Steph was a match made in heaven, to be honest with you. I like both of them, and I think that both of them balled out. Kyrie may have just a little bit more dog in him than Steph does on that court. He may have a little bit more of that Mamba mentality, that Kobe Bryant mentality, but they kind of balanced themselves out. Klay has 16, Kevin Love has 16. So what the Golden State Warriors did, they went out and they balanced it out. Okay, come back the next year, 2018 NBA Finals. The Warriors swept the Cavs. 4-0. 4-0. Swept the Cavs. So that's 2 NBA Finals where where the Golden State Warriors with Kevin Durant went 8-1. 8-1. What was their record prior to KD? What was their record at when KD got hurt in 2019? Just hold on for 1 second. In the 2018 NBA Finals, KD averaged 28, 10, and 7. Well, 28, 10, and almost 8. LeBron averaged 34, 8, and 10. Kevin Love averaged 19 points and 11 rebounds. Remember now, this is the year, 2018 was the year that they didn't have Kyrie Irving anymore. Kyrie Irving had left the Cleveland Cavaliers and got traded to the Boston Celtics. So, no KD. Maybe they win that one. Maybe 2018 they win it. 2017 they don't. 2018 maybe they don't. You're talking about peak prime LeBron James, who I have as the greatest of all time. Some people don't. But you're talking about peak prime LeBron James going up against that Golden State Warriors team. Hell, he gave him problems when it was just him and Dellavedova. Can't say that too many times. Make it sound like you're speaking in tongues at church. The Golden State Warriors knew that they had an issue and a problem on their hand by watching these games. They're playing against one of the greatest, one of the top 5 players of all time. not just of his generation, of all time. He's the greatest of his generation. He's all time great. They knew that if they didn't go out and get somebody, if they didn't go out and get somebody that could match his energy, match his intensity, and match his scoring, they were not going to win. Okay, don't believe me? What happened in 2019? 2019, Golden State Warriors lost to the Raptors, right? Lost to the Raptors. No KD, no Clay. KD tried to come back, scored what, 12 points in 12 minutes. Got hurt again, was out. No Clay, they lost. Now, listen, I ain't the one to gossip, and you ain't heard it from me. But Steph was still there. Steph was still there. Steph was still playing. I'm just saying. I'm a Steph Curry diehard fan. I like Steph Curry. But if we're going to use this narrative, if we're going to use this narrative on what is the legacy of Kevin Durant now that the Warriors have won a championship, well, they lost one when he got there, and they lost one when he left. But a fully healthy KD, they won. Had an 8-1 record in the NBA Finals. So why should KD feel bad? Why should KD feel bad about leaving? What does this have to do with KD? Also, before I get up out of here, this is the one thing that I can't understand. You're asking, should KD feel bad 3 years after he left? 3. The Warriors missed the playoffs after KD left the next 2 seasons. And I know they didn't have Clay. I got it. But they didn't have KD either. You get where I'm going? Get in the car. Here, let me open up the passenger side door so you can get in. Come on, ride with me. We about to take a ride real quick. Shut up. Don't touch the radio. Just listen. 2 years in a row, the Warriors don't make the playoffs. They go 54-83. 3 years removed from KD, they win the championship. 3 years later. And y'all still asking about KD? You know what that's the equivalent to? That's the equivalent to meeting a woman. Y'all been together for 2+ years, 2.5, 3 years, and somebody keep bringing up the ex. Y'all 3 years into this relationship, y'all done got married, y'all done moved on, y'all love each other. And every time you turn around and on social media and at church and at the family functions, they keep bringing up your ex. Why? Be happy for me for what I have right here. Be happy. Like, let me live in this moment. Let me be right here in this moment. You keep bringing up my ex? What the hell you keep bringing up my ex for? What my ex got to do with this? What my ex got to do with this? I'm 3 years removed from my ex, and y'all still want to bring it up? See, that's what I mean by lazy journalism, and that's what I mean by these sports media personalities who keep bringing in and talking about Kevin Durant, Kevin Durant, Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant is the Golden State Warriors ex. Why do you keep bringing him up? It makes no sense to me at all, and it's lazy. If the Golden State Warriors would have won an NBA Finals the year after KD was gone, I'd have said, oh, y'all got a point. Well, they don't need KD. You got a point. Second year, I'm saying, you're reaching a little bit. Third year, come on. Come on, y'all lazy. You keep throwing this narrative in there. Hey, so what about the Warriors ex? Yeah, but the Warriors got a whole new spouse. They got a whole new spouse. They got a wife. And you're bringing up the ex and Kevin Durant? Why? It's stupid. I know, right? Sarge, how you get yourself so worked up like this? It isn't because I'm a KD fan. It's because I hate stupidity. I hate stupidity. I hate ignorance. And too many things in this world that I hate, but I hate stupidity. I hate ignorance. I hate laziness. I hate stupidity because that's what this is. You're 3 years removed from KD having on a Golden State Warriors jersey. Three. Pretty much 3 and like a quarter from him being able to be to play any minutes, significant minutes for the Golden State Warriors. So what you're saying is you never expected them to win without KD. Like if we keeping it a buck, if we keeping it a buck, which I like to do right here on Sports Talk with Big Sarge, if we keeping it a buck, you all never expected them to win without KD. So why, when they win, the narrative switches to, oh, look at them, they won a championship without KD. It's this little. So okay, I'm about to get up out of here. Let me tell you what it is. It's these little mind games and these little algorithm games that the media plays, that these producers play, that these people that they hire that's supposed to be able to create content. And they're trying to spark debate. What all they're doing is they're not sparking debate, they're lighting stupidity. They're not lighting debate. They're setting ablaze to ignorance. Good thing y'all got Big Sarge here though to help you out. Because I'm gonna call it like it TIS. And talking about Kevin Durant and the Golden State Warriors in 2022 is lazy. Big Sarge. I'm out.